York Comic Con concluded recently, and things got pretty heated when Amazing Spider-Man editor Nick Lowe kind of pretty much had the fans revolting when he refused to answer any questions as to why Spider-Man's life is pretty much in the freaking garbage. But no, keep in mind, Nick Lowe is the same editor who just a few weeks ago was actually lambasting a fan for daring to say that, one more day should get retcon. Tired of seeing Peter Parker, Spider-Man's life in the dump. He needs to get a better outlook. It's not looking good for the character at all. No. He was all, it's really amazing for you to act like you speak for the Spider-Man fans all over the world, kind of thing like that. But no, at New York Comic Con, the fans literally almost revolted because this is what happens when it comes to these people. They don't write these books for the fans. They write it out of spite and wickedness because as far as they are concerned, they must give you any slop and you're just supposed to eat that up and shut your mouth. That's it. They don't want to hear anything. They don't want you to say anything. You're just supposed to shut up and consume. Well, the fans weren't having any of that. Dive into this article here. It comes from Fandom Pulse. Fans reportedly revolt on Amazing Spider-Man editor Nick Lowe at New York Comic Con panel. Amazing Spider-Man has been a disaster for years, but Marvel Comics keeps letting it go on under editor Nick Lowe. At New York Comic Con, fans had enough, and I, for one, fully support fans speaking out against these things. These are characters that people love. These are characters that people enjoy. And when you have these companies that own these characters and they hire these activists who basically come out and say, no, this is not supposed to happen, this is supposed to be so. Because they have basically said they want Spider-Man to be like this everyman. He must be relatable for all ages. And for some reason, they think having Spider-Man be a broke, pathetic, cockhole loser is what everybody wants. Who wants to look at Spider-Man and say, hey, this is what I want to aspire to be? But no, like I say, they do these things out of wickedness and spite. According to a report from New York Comic Con, the reaction to upcoming Amazing Spider-Man issues is lackluster, even among fans excited enough about Marvel Comics to attend the panel. Of course, the reaction is lackluster. What do they have coming up? The 8 Deaths of Spider-Man. And they have a bait and switch going on where the person who they say was going to be writing is actually going to just be doing, I think is either one issue or part of that issue that they're bringing in some unknown female writer who's an activist and is perfectly happy to do whatever in God's name she does to ruin the character. During the Q&A session, fans reportedly turned on editor Nick Lowe, creating a more than awkward scene for the line editor. Yeah, not even more than awkward. If you just interact with your fans, make comics that they would enjoy, stories that they would enjoy, these things won't happen. But when you absolutely believe that smelling your own farts makes you the best thing ever since sliced bread, this is what happens. Fans have been very vocal about their disdain for the direction of Amazing Spider-Man in recent years. Yep, but they don't want to hear that. It's been on a downward trajectory ever since J. Michael Straczynski's infamous One More Day, where Peter Parker makes a deal with the devil Mephisto to snap his marriage out of existence and give his aging aunt a couple more years to live at best. He couldn't just go to Doctor Strange for some help, but no. That's what they wanted. They erased Peter Parker and Mary Jane's marriage. And like I said in a previous video that I did, where it was revealed that it's basically mandated at Marvel that Peter Parker and Mary Jane must never get married again. It boils down to the point is that, every relationship he's ever going to have, because apparently at this point he's dating some woman named Shay or something like that That's not going to last. It's not going to last. While they just keep rubbing Paul in everybody's faces. God, boy. It was an absurd and stupid storyline that stifled any potential growth for the Spider-Man character and sent writers and editorial in circles stagnating the Amazing Spider-Man comic for over a decade. Because like I've said, they want Spider-Man to be relatable, as they put it. You understand me? And they're thinking about it that Spider-Man must never grow up, must never accomplish anything. No. He must remain as he is. I don't even know if Spider-Man has a job. I think he's working with Norman Osborn or some crap like that, but I really couldn't tell you the honest truth in regards to it. You understand me? His marriage is gone. Mary Jane is with Paul, and then they turn him into the biggest cock alive. Spider-Man doesn't even win fights anymore. And the thing about it is that even if you look at a broader term, the Spider-Verse has ruined Spider-Man as a character, because when everybody's a Spider-Person, I do mean everybody. Where does that leave the original Spider-Man? It looked for a moment like Marvel Comics would get Spider-Man back on track during Nick Spencer's long run on the character. Yeah, that it was looking so, because he was actually, Peter Parker actually had the ring in his pocket. He was looking to go and propose to Mary Jane. But unfortunately, the editorial decided not to do anything to rectify the storyline. Since then, Marvel Comics has made one mistake after another with the character, and the flagship book of their comic line, including having Mary Jane have children with a Matt Walsh appearing stand-in named Paul. Everybody hates Paul. Which many have made comments on the cocktacular Spider-Man because of Peter's seeming contentedness at sitting and watching the relationship. Yeah. You trap Mary Jane in this alternate dimension with this weirdo named Paul, who I am convinced is evil, right? She and he pick up some children on the side of the road, basically. Spend, what, I think it was 3 or 4 years together in there, and in that 4 years' time, she just decided to fall in love with this Paul person, because that's how it works. When you just stay with somebody for 4 years, automatically you decide to start getting it on with them and stuff. Spider-Man, however, ended up going back to his time, to his world. But time passed faster over there than it passed for Spider-Man. So when it was only like an hour, that was like about 4 hours or something, so it passed for him. For her, it had been 4 years. And when he brought her back now, she basically told them, listen, I'm going to stay with Paul. We're going to get it on every night. And every once in a while, we will send you a video of us doing it just to remind you what a cocktacular Spider-Man you are. That was it. And then, of course, the children turned out to be imaginary, because that was supposed to be terrible in some freaking way. You understand me? And then to top it off, after that, we decided, hey, let's go out and make Mary Jane jackpot. And that isn't even, so like, I don't even know if the book's still going on. I read 1 issue and I was out. That was it. 1 and I was out. That was it. And then you get that here where Spider-Man, where Peter Parker shows up there, and Mary Jane is, thanks for coming for dinner, Peter. The art looks terrible, by the way. And he's like, are you kidding, MJ? Paul's chicken korma is always worth the trip. And Paul is, you want to take some with you? Nah, figure I'll swing home and see if I spot any trouble. Never a night off. You know me, fighting crime is a passion and a responsibility, I've heard. And you get home safe. We'll see. Yeah, and he swings off there. Because this is the man who literally stole your woman, and you're perfectly okay with it. And if you want the definition of a cock, you need only look at the Amazing Spider-Man. That's what it is. That is what it is. The recent run under Zeb Wells has made even more mistakes. Trying to force Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel, as an important character in Peter's life, turning Peter into a fan fiction cringy Spider-Goblin, and lackluster events like Gang War, which fell flat. Not a damn thing happened in Gang War as far as I was told. I didn't even bother to read that crap. Zeb Wells is announced off the book, but it seems editor Nick Lowe still has Peter Parker running around in the same circles and never developing. The next thing they have coming for Spider-Man is the 8 deaths of Spider-Man, because everybody wants to watch him die 8 times now. You already pretty much killed his social life and his entire happiness and everything. Might as well finish him off 8 times too. According to a Redditor, recent announcements were met with groans from the crowd at New York Comic Con. People walked out of the Q&A session after the presentation as Nick Lowe refused to answer questions about the direction of Amazing Spider-Man. Now, this is really important. This is really important. And let me continue on a bit, and then I'll go on a bit more. Most of the audience demanded why Nick Lowe refused to put Peter Parker and Mary Jane back together, but the questions were ignored in what the Redditor described as super awkward. Preview pages showed Peter Parker kissing Felicia Hardy, which was also said to have been met with disdain by the Spider-Man reading audience. So I'll get to the Felicia Hardy thing just now. But here's the thing. People come to a Q&A session and they have questions about Spider-Man. They don't like what they see going on with the Amazing Spider-Man. If you ever bothered to actually read any of the comments and ever actually listen to any fans, you would know that. But you have a Q&A session. You open yourself up to answer questions from the fans. Once the questions are about Spider-Man and they're not offensive or anything like that, you answer the questions. Asking why it is Marvel refuses to put Peter Parker and Mary Jane back together is a legitimate question and a legitimate concern. Rather than you take your head out of your rear end and decide to answer the question, no, you won't do that, because as far as you are concerned, you must do whatever the hell you want with these characters and nobody must say anything. What kind of questions was he actually expecting to get from this crowd? I don't know. You make announcements, you're already hearing groans and stuff in the crowd and all kind of thing, and then you come out and this is what is wrong with not just the comic book community, but Hollywood on the whole. Asking why it is you're making Peter Parker's life a living hell, why you refuse to put him and Mary Jane back together, a legitimate question. All you had to do was answer them and say, listen, we're mandated by Marvel not to do so. But you will not do that, because as far as you're concerned, people are supposed to shut up and like whatever slop you've given them. I go on to talk about the preview pages showed Peter Parker kissing Felicia Hardy, which was also said to have been met with disdain by the Spider-Man reading audience. The majority of people don't like Peter Parker and Felicia Hardy being together. They don't like it. One of the main reasons is because Felicia Hardy, Black Cat, likes Spider-Man, not Peter Parker. That's kind of a weird thing, but that's the thing about it. But I don't think that they fit together at all. It have those who like them as a couple, but the vast majority don't. Not to mention the fact that you're basing them with the fact that not too long ago, you literally had Felicia Hardy in a relationship with a woman, because everybody must be gay now. Don't worry, Spider-Man was out of Spider-Man, but literally said that to swing that way just now too. But that's what you want. So you're showing panels of Peter Parker kissing Felicia Hardy. It's supposed to make what kind of sense now? When you've pretty much said that that's never going to happen. And this is what you're going to say. That's dancing around every woman except Mary Jane. Fans are going to be unhappy. Finally, accusations of Nick Lowe writing his own letters to the editor flew from the crowd, where fans believe that the positive comments surrounding the Amazing Spider-Man run in the letters column are self-generated and fake. I would not doubt that. I'm serious. I would not doubt that. Because when you see these kind of so-called letters that they talk about, and how generic and ridiculous they are, you actually have to stop and wonder if these people are writing these things themselves. Because there's no way that's going to happen. Yes, there are some people who are going to like what's going on, because there are some people who will literally absorb anything. They don't care. Anything they will take and they're happy with it. They're perfectly happy with it. But the vast majority of people are not going to like this. And when you keep saying that they put out all these positive letters and things, yeah, it makes you wonder, is Nick Lowe and the rest of them over at Marvel Comics writing their own letters? It's possible. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that I have any proof of this. I'm just saying it is possible. The Q&A was cut short and Nick Lowe was not allowed to answer this question. Of course not. Of course not. Because when you start, people are going to get angry and they're going to start saying things. Why? Because they see what's happening. They see the lies. They know, and this is why you keep losing fans, losing sales, everything. People are not stupid. You want to believe people are, and you figure that they're saying so, going to continue with it. Not happening. Regardless, fans are not happy with Amazing Spider-Man and haven't been for some time. Marvel Comics seems to relish in upsetting fans rather than producing quality content they want. One wonders how much longer this can last. As long as they're getting that sweet Disney money, it will last for a little while. But turning Spider-Man into a cock, destroying his life, and then having the editor refuse to answer questions about it, questions that are not offensive, this question that fans want answers to, says a lot. The fans are turning on them because this nonsense has gone too far. You have destroyed this character. You continue to destroy this character and you're happy to do it. What is wrong with you? I don't know. But they just seem perfectly happy to keep destroying this character's life and then act like, this is supposed to be something that the fans want. Nobody wants this. Nobody wants this. And people don't want it, but your whole thing is that they must shut up and consume whatever you give them. That ain't happening no more. You insulted one fan not too long ago. That went viral. You understand me? Now, at New York Comic Con, fans have literally shown that, what few showed up have literally shown they have no interest in your continued destruction of Amazing Spider-Man. And when you refuse to answer simple questions, you showed them exactly who you are. Exactly. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. If you have a different opinion, I'd love to hear it. If you like the video, hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell to be notified every time I put out a new video. And I shall see you all next time. Take care.